You take my seat right way back. Ooh, shit. This train down the track. Hello, welcome to the Guitar Show. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday evening. We are very happy to have you with us. We got a super awesome episode today for you guys. This is our blues episode 5. We got our guitar guest, Jon Hines, my good buddy, great musician, really, really good guitar player. This guy blew me away the first time I saw him, and yeah, I've been following him ever since. His album Wild Things Roam, 2018's release. You can check that out on Spotify or hit him up. You get an album. This is a great album, track for track, man. This is just a really, really awesome album. Great sound, greatly produced. Jon Hines, I also heard news that he's going to be featured on the 100% East Coast Stingray channel, which is very exciting. I can't wait for you guys to hear him play some tunes tonight. We're going to be talking about my man Robert Johnson, King of the Delta Blues, Mr. Muddy Waters, and also Sunhouse, a really legendary bluesman. But without further ado, I'm going to bring Jon in. Hey, Jon, What's going on, man?
Hey! You caught me.
Caught you, buddy.
I'm still sharing the event.
All right on, man. It's all good. Take your time. Welcome to the Guitar Show, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's been too long. It's been those lonely nights in Truro back in November.
Yeah. Yeah, Music Week Nova Scotia. Me and you were roomies up there.
Yes.
Living it up. Yeah, flying out the street, lounge.
It's a fun week, man.
Yeah, that was a really good time. Shout out to CB Mike for putting that on, taking us along. Yeah, that was really cool. We had the full Monty, the tour bus, the gigs lined up. It was great.
Yeah, I gotta tour like that more often. We need to get a tour bus. That's
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Do like Aerosmith. That's the sweet the camper van.
Yeah.
So they found out in the woods.
I realized today I'm supposed to be getting on a plane to go to Newfoundland right about now. For
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were going to be part of the blues showcase.
Yeah, at the Black Sheep down on George Street.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been a really. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate we're in the situation that we're in right now. Gigging and stuff is kind of on hold, but we're kind of doing these live stream shows and whatever just to kind of keep ourselves sane and still get our music out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully things turn around sooner than later. I'm looking to get back out there and play for people. It's something I miss.
I'm starting to miss people quite a bit myself. I was thinking when they first said that you're going to have to self-quarantine for 14 days, I was like, this is going to be awesome. I just get to stay home by myself kind of thing. But yeah, I'm actually missing social interactions a little bit. Handshakes. Yeah, that's this thing our grandfathers used to talk about.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, whenever you're ready, brother, if you want to bust us out one of your jams,
okay,
and kick things off guitar-wise, I know the people out there are super excited to hear some tunes.
Sweet.
And so I am as well. It's been a while since I heard you jam.
Sweet. So I'll let you decide, Dale. What kind of tune you want to hear then? Do you want to hear, since it's blues night, do you want to hear something more like a 12-bar blues kind of laid back thing, or do you want to hear something a bit more upbeat, sort of funk with a bit of jazz, blues kind of thing in it?
I'm game for whatever you had in mind, brother. We're gonna be playing blues all night, so if you want to jazz it up a bit and throw something funky in there, I'd love to hear that too.
Well, I'll try this then. This I was going to do House Always Wins, tune of mine, 12-bar blues thing, but I'm going to jump into this. This is a tune called When You're Saying. I'm getting ready to, I'm using this time right now in quarantine to kind of work on some recordings. I've just been pushing through and doing a pile of recordings the last couple of days. I'm getting ready to put something up online for downloading and streaming purposes. Call it like a sort of a quarantine jam EP sort of thing. I'm calling it DTF, Down to Funk. So it's this is gonna be one of the tunes that's featured on it. It's a tune called When You're Saying. My baby's hand, yeah, tight as I can, and I whisper to her sweet little things, yeah, everything is alright. Tell her I'll be a man, show them my jam, and I whisper to her sweet little things, yeah, everything is alright. Whoa, baby, when you're saying won't come around no more, why are you still knocking on my door? Crazy, that's why I'm in love with you. Hold my baby's hand, yeah, tight as I can, and I whisper to her sweet little things, yeah, everything is alright. Whoa, baby, when you're saying won't come around no more, why are still knocking on my door? I feel crazy, that's why I'm in love with you. Yeah.
Rock on, man. Great tune.
Thank you.
Good job. Let's get some clap emojis going there in the comments. We had a few comments there. People were digging the funk jazz. They're digging the funk jazz, brother. Yeah, that was a cool tune, man. Very cool.
It was not gonna lie, that's 100% inspired by blues, but it's a bit more local blues and a bit more recent. That's straight up inspired by Garrett Mason at the Belly Up when we were there in Truro.
Yeah, man. Wow, that was a kick-ass show.
Yeah,
and he is a freak of nature. That guy, he's he's pretty unbelievable.
He's straight up amazing. So we're gonna chat about some Robert Johnson.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get into my man Robert Johnson, king of the Delta blues, buddy. This guy is a legend. Born in 1911 down in the Delta, Mississippi. He lived to age 27, starting that group, which I can't. What's that group? The 27 Club. John Lennon, all those guys. Yeah, he's got quite the unique style, man. They say he's one of the hardest guitarists to duplicate, and there's no doubt about it. When you listen to his stuff, some songs it almost sounds like there's two guitars playing, even though you know he's just doing the one.
Yeah, well, I don't know who did this picture, but I found this on Instagram. Somebody did a picture of him where he's got his two hands on the classic L1 Gibson, but then there's the devil hand coming up and gripping the it's it's kind of what they said, the third hand coming in, right? Playing.
Yeah, that's a cool picture. What do you think of all that stuff? The myth that Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil down at the crossroads, and
100% true.
What do you think? 100% true. It's got
100% true. I mean, it'd be crazy not to believe it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bob Dylan believes it too.
It makes for a great story, but I mean, the story is he was supposedly a really bad guitar player, and then he disappeared for a short time, and then he came back and he was really, really good. So that was the explanation. And in the back in those days, people were extra religious too. So
yeah.
And
then blues came along, and they capped that in to be the devil's music a little bit as well. I think that also kind of plays a little bit of a factor in it, but I love the whole story. I think it's awesome.
It's a great story.
The movie, great.
He's still one of the most influential blues guitarists of all time, and I don't see that changing. I mean, you can't find a blues player that isn't influenced by him. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, Muddy Waters, we're going to talk about him later on. I mean, the Stones, Eric Clapton, right?
Keith Richards. Eric Clapton was big Robert Johnson fan, and Muddy actually. But yeah, no, they inspired everybody, man. Led Zeppelin, even they've even taken some of their lyrics and kind of made them into their own songs as well too, right? He's quite the influential dude, and he lives such a mysterious life. Like nobody knows very much about this guy at all. Robert Johnson. He just kind of disappeared. There's claims that he was murdered.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his whole set of recordings was done in a hotel room in Chicago. Like that, it may be that record there that you were holding. It was recorded in 1936. Really scratchy kind of sounding recording. It sounds awesome, like for the day too, right?
Yeah. From what I understood, half of his recordings were done just where you were talking about, and I thought that I heard that half were done in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
From what I read, but it just goes into one of those things how mysterious this dude is.
Yeah.
It's all myths and fables. Nobody really knows. There's only 2 pictures of the guy. Crazy. And the whole Crossroads thing, if you've ever seen that movie, I think it came out in 1986. For those out there watching that haven't seen that movie, you should definitely check it out. It's a cool movie, epic guitar battle at the end, and the whole idea is that him and Willie Brown, the great player, are on the search for the lost Robert Johnson song.
Not the Britney Spears movie. The other one.
Yeah, I should emphasize that. Definitely not
Yeah.
that one. Don't let me steer you down. I don't think there's an epic guitar battle at the end of that one.
No, no.
Well, what do you think, brother? You want to show some appreciation for the King of the Delta Blues and lay down a little Robert Johnson track?
Sure. Sorry if I'm a little just kind of waiting for you to speak. Sometimes I'm not exactly sure the format, but yeah, I'll jump into Robert Johnson tune here. This is a tune I did on. I recorded it while I recorded Wild Things Roam. It's not on the CD, but it's online for digital downloading and streaming. It's also did a little video on YouTube. You can see the room that I recorded in Sonic Temple. We mentioned earlier that his recordings were done in 1936. This one was released in 1937. It is not yet public domain. If you know anything about that, usually public domain stuff happens after 70 years after the death. But Robert Johnson's estate, I believe it was, sold all the rights to his songs to another individual who still currently owns them all. I don't recall his name, but yeah. This is a tune made famous by Blues Brothers, and just about everybody else covered it. Muddy Waters, B.B. King did it. It's kind of a blues standard. Sweet Home Chicago.
Yeah, this is kind of a bridge the gap from blues and to rock and roll. This is one of those staple songs.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Take it away, brother.
Yes. Well, come on. Baby, won't you please come home? Well, come on here. Baby, won't you please come home? Back to same old sweet place, yeah. Sweet old Chicago. Well, 1 and 1 is 2. 2, 2 is 4. None booked, heavy loaded. Gotta go, yeah. Crying, hey, hey. Baby, won't you please come home? Back to same old sweet place, yeah. Sweet old Chicago. Yeah. Well, 2 and 2 is 4. 4, 2 is 6. You know she's gonna running those tricks, crying, hey, hey, yeah. Baby, don't you want to go? Back to same old sweet place, yeah. Sweet old Chicago. Well, come on, baby, don't you want to go? Well, come on, yeah, baby, don't you want to go? Back to same old sweet place, yeah. sweet old Chicago. Well, 2 and 6 is 8, 8 and 2 is 10. You know she's gonna break your heart again. I'm crying, yeah. Baby, don't you want to go? Back to same old sweet place, yeah. Sweet old Chicago. Here we go. Well, come on, baby, don't you want to go? Well, come on, yeah, baby, don't you want to go? Back to same old sweet place, yeah, the sweet old Chicago. And one more. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Thought about ending.
Awesome, man.
Thought about ending with the John Belushi thing, the hidey hey, you know.
That was a great tune, man. You cover that awesome. You cover that very well, my friend. We're getting some comments here. What do we got here? Someone is requesting. We were requesting the song he did when he was on the rail, I think it was, or something along that. Love in Vain.
I don't know that one.
Have you played that one?
I don't know that one. No.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure which the one that is that she's talking about. So I got to find the comment again. I'll look for it and let you know. Also, I think you can go in the comment things on the side of this screen.
Oh, this
and you
one.
Can see you can see the comments coming in live too. So you should be able to.
Hey,
check them out. Check them out. Check them out. I guess I'm gonna play this guitar now. I guess I'm gonna do a little track by Robert Johnson called "Me and the Devil Blues," and this kind of song goes back to that what we were talking about before, how he sold his soul to the devil. You know, it's kind of crazy stories. Also, I'm just going to reiterate too for those that are just tuning in. Welcome to the Guitar Show. Our guitar guest this week is Jon Hines, great Cape Breton musician, and this is our blues episode. So we're playing some tunes by the great Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, and Sunhouse, and also Jon is playing some of his original tunes and whatnot. And we're just talking guitar and the blues, baby. All right, I'm gonna do my tune here. Me and the Devil Blues by Mr. Robert Johnson. Hope you like it. Early this morning, you knocked upon my door. Early this morning, ooh, you knocked upon my door. I said, hello, Christine. I believe it's time to go. Me and the devil was walking side by side. Me and the devil was walking side by side. And I'm gonna see my woman till I get satisfied. She said, you don't see why I will dog around. Now, baby, you know you ain't doing me right now. She don't see why that I would dog her around. It must have been that old evil spirit so deep down in the ground. You may bury my body down by the highway side. Baby, I don't care where you bury my body when I'm dead and gone. You may bury my body down by the highway side. So my evil spirit can get a Greyhound bus and ride.
Yes.
Yes, bye. Yes, sir. Me and the Devil Blues, brother. I always love that tune, man. All his tunes are great. Dust My Broom, Hellhounds on My Trail. He's he's just got that awesome sound. I love putting on this vinyl record that I got here, and especially the little extra hiss you get from playing vinyl. It just sounds right,
Yeah. There's another thing I really like about the old blues records like that is the classic album cover that they have, like that one in particular. It's got that overhead shot of him sitting there with the L1, and he's sitting in the old wooden chair. It's deadly album cover.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how the shadow's coming back up at him, and you can see all of his fingers. It kind of reminds me of that one that you were talking about with the devil and the extra hand coming up. Yeah, that's such a badass picture.
Yeah,
I had that as a screensaver for a little while.
Yeah, I wish I know who did it, but yeah, it's pretty deadly. It's a wicked cover there too, man. How long have you been playing the blues yourself?
I've been doing bluesy stuff since you know what? I think I kind of got into it when I was around like 19. When I first started playing guitar, I was more kind of focused on like straight up rock and roll. I wanted to play in friggin' Led Zeppelin and AC/DC. And then I kind of had a metal phase that I was rocking out. And then, I'd say I was about 19 when I got into blues and started kind of digging deeper, I was always a big Zeppelin guy. So then naturally you kind of say, well, who were their who were their heroes or who were they influenced by, and then you kind of dig back and dig farther back, and it all those great rock and rollers, man, like Zeppelin, the Stones, the Beatles, they all kind of trace back to these guys that we're talking about today. Robert Johnson, and then you go back even farther, and his mentors, legendary Sunhouse.
Yes.
He goes even further back, and he's got just a very dark bluesy kind of sound. It's Deathbed Letter, and he tried to start a career through the Great Depression. So kudos to those guys.
He has a very unique style. Well, they all those old records and old players, like the old Delta players, they all have a very unique style of playing that nobody plays anymore. So one of the things Sunhouse used to do, he used to do a lot of upstrums. He'd do like in Death Letter Blues, he does like a bump 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 bump. Yeah, and it starts off as an upstrum, up and then down, and it throws a lot of guys off, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Those guys had a very, very interesting way of the rhythm hand kind of, was busier than what they were doing necessarily on the guitar. So some of this slide work too, Sunhouse, is really, really good.
Yeah, he did a lot in and a lot of them played in open tunings. I don't really know what was the standard at the time, but Sunhouse often plays an open G. He even does some acapella stuff, which I thought was kind of, maybe it wasn't unusual for the time, but unusual for the blues that I've heard anyway. Like Robert Johnson's with the guitar, even like Leadbelly, stuff like that. They're all in the they got the guitar and everything, right?
Yeah, it kind of shows its age when you listen to that. I know what you're talking about, those acapella Sunhouse tracks where he's clapping and it's kind of off time and just all over the place, and it really shows its age at how old like those songs are, right? I think that song in particular is from like the late 20s.
Yeah, I'd have to look that one up, but it's a great tune. He's got the two in particular, Grinning in Your Face and John the Revelator. John the Revelator was covered by everybody. I mean, it was on Sons of Anarchy, right? Like it's a pretty popular tune.
Yeah. Preachin' Blues, and it was another one of his big ones. Preachin' Blues went on to be inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. One of the classics.
Right on.
But before we get too far into Sunhouse, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to we're gonna rock to our man, Mr. Muddy Waters. I don't know if that's coming up on the screen or not, but
yeah, I can see it.
Muddy Waters, the man, the myth, the legend. This guy is also born down in Mississippi in 1913, so right around the same, just a little after Robert Johnson. He lived a fairly long life. I think he was 70 when he died. I think he died in the 80s, but he moved to Chicago around age 30 to find success. So he kind of became the father of the Chicago blues. A bit of a different era, almost.
Yeah, he did I noticed that. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, the mic just cut out there for a minute. I was going to say he had one of the things I pay attention to is how these guys play guitar a little bit. One of the neat little thing I kind of noticed about Muddy Waters is he often just kind of slaps a capo onto a certain fret. So like he'll be playing an E, then he'll put a capo on 2, and then he plays like the same type of pattern or close to it anyway. So he could still play like he's playing in E, but he's actually playing an F sharp and so on, right? It's
right.
Yeah. It's
there's quite a few videos of him playing electric. I think he's quite Telecaster. Seen quite a few videos. He's rocking the telly, and not so much the acoustic. And busy with the slide too. Do you play much slide yourself?
I dabble a little bit. I'm not like any of those guys, but I'd messing around with that Death Letter Blues Sunhouse tune and a couple of my own stuff. The problem with that Death Letter Blues is like the lyrics are like 2 pages long. It's yeah, they're long.
Yeah,
they're long.
It's pretty intense.
Great song though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a story.
I got a moonshine slide here somewhere. I'll find it.
A moonshine slide.
Yeah, it's I'll find it when you do your next tune there. But
for sure, yeah. I'll show you the slide I'm rocking. I found this actually on a construction site that I worked on. This was just a little piece of copper pipe that was just cut perfectly. It was rounded perfectly. I had to file it down a little bit, but it works great. It works better than any slide that I bought, any glass slide or anything that I've bought. I like this one better. I always go back to the freebie construction site slide.
The one I have is a ceramic one. It's a Dunlop, but the name on it's Moonshine Slide.
Yeah.
There's a guy from Victoria, BC that I ended up doing a show with, Jesse Roper. He's sort of a blues guy. He got sent down. The East Coast Blues Society does an event every year. It's something like Road to Memphis or something. They have a competition where they try to send blues guys down to Memphis where they compete in a blues competition. The West Coast also has it, and Jesse's part of the West Coast Blues Society. They sent him down there. Garrett Mason has gone down several years.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's badass. I just Andre Pettipa just signed on there and commented. And it made me think of I saw a video that you two or a song that you guys collaborated on recently, Twice as Hard, Black Crowes track.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. That's a killer. You guys did a killer job.
Andre killed it, man. That guy can he's got the voice of an angel. But no, he can sing like a bastard, man. It's great.
I watched him on Sean's show the other night on the Monday Night Jam, and he killed it. It was a good show.
Right before,
and then
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, right before quarantine, we did we did a show at the Belly up there together on Friday, March 13th. Actually, is
oh cool.
Yeah, it was our last live gig right before everything got shut down.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool pub or a cool venue. It's got a unique layout to it. Whole weird kind of perimeter thing,
It's pretty big.
It's kind of
it's really cool sound in there. It's an awesome little spot.
Yeah, I dig it. We had a good time up there when we were there for Music Week, Nova Scotia. Saw some kick-ass acts there, man. Killer stuff. So what do you think? You want to wow the crowd with a Muddy Waters track?
All right, we'll jump into it. I know a little bit. Shouldn't really say history about this tune, but this tune is we're talking about guys that blues that inspired other blues acts. This tune, Jimi Hendrix allegedly wrote Voodoo Child kind of as a response to this tune. It was 100% inspired by this tune, Catfish Blues, and it's kind of become a standard in the blues community. Gary Clark Jr. is one of the pretty famous versions of it right now. You can see there's a video of Gary Clark and Obama singing in the White House, actually during one of the presidential. Yeah, it's dope as shit. The
Gary Clark is awesome.
yeah, but this is this Catfish Blues. Tonight's episode is also sponsored by water because it's important to stay hydrated. And here we go. Well, I wish was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. Yeah. All you pretty women's here fishing after me. Oh, yeah. Well, I went to my girlfriend's house, and I sat, yeah, on the front step, and she said, yeah, Johnny, come on in now. My husband just left. My husband just left. Yeah. Well, I hear two trains are rolling. Oh, not what they're going my way. Oh, I hear one just left there, won't be back for another day. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Rock on, buddy. You're getting claps from out in the hallway, out in the kitchen. I'm hearing claps. Oh, did you hear that? Willie Nelson digs it too. He's into it. He's watching along. He's been chilling in the room the whole time, listening. Animals are blues fans. That was great. Correct me if I'm wrong. Catfish Blues is also known as Rolling Stone by Muddy Waters, right?
I'm not 100% on that. This guy is Hammer.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Hammer like blues.
Wicked. Loser dogs.
Yeah. These are the guys.
Yeah.
Those are the guys. You posted a video a while ago about your trip, the one where you're playing harmonica, and I was listening to it here. As soon as you started playing the harmonica, these guys just started howling. That's every time. Every time they hear a harmonica, they just start.
Yeah, it's the harmonica seems to be one of those things that get especially dogs. It seems it's got a howl to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that it kind of triggers their ears. My dog too. When I play the harp, she's like, "What? What is that thing?" Yeah, it definitely catches their attention. It's funny you were talking about Muddy and the capo thing, because this song actually has a capo on it, and I'm gonna try my best to do a little slide work here. This is not typically a song that I do, but I'm gonna give her shit. This song is called "Honeybee" by Mr. Muddy Waters.
Yes.
Willie taking away my paperwork. Capo on one. Sail on, my little honeybee, sail on. Sail on, my little honeybee, sail on. You're gonna keep on sailing until you lose your happy home. Sail on, my little honeybee, sail on. Sail on, my little honeybee, sail on. I don't mind you sailing, but please don't sail too long. I hear a lot of buzzing, sound like my little honeybee. I hear a lot of buzzing, sound like my little honeybee. She's been all around the world making honey, but now she's coming back home to me.
Yes.
Rock on, man. Yeah, that was it was trial and error with the slide thing, and I'm not much of a slide guy, but I think I want to try to get into it a little more.
You killed it.
Start playing in these open tunings and messing around a bit more, you know.
What tuning are you in?
There's some fun to be had. I'm just playing in standard tonight.
Okay. This is trying to get this on the. This is a slide here I have.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Moonshine slide.
Yeah. And
is that blue? I think I've seen them before,
yeah,
actually.
blue.
Yeah, blue on the outside, white on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
So this is the I can't play the whole tune, but it's give you a style of Sunhouse kind of strumming. It's like a yeah. It's got
Cool, man. I dig that. That looks a little intricate. Looks a little
yeah.
tricky rhythm to keep going. Yeah, it's a funky little upstroke thing going on there.
He's got a kind of a weird way of sort of enunciating his words too, so it kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a great tune. White Stripes ended up covering it there. It's pretty
Yeah,
deadly.
they do a full cover.
It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy cover, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely add a little dirt on it for sure. Yeah, Jack White, he plays the side quite a bit too. Cool guitar player. Yeah, man. So, anybody that's just, if you've been following along for us, so thank you for staying tuned with us tonight. And if you're just kind of tuning in now, you're on the Guitar Show. Our guitar guest this week is Jon Hines. This is our blues episode, so me and Jon are playing a few tracks by some legendary blues artists. So far, we talked about Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters. We played a few tracks by that guy, and now we're on Sunhouse, the father of the folk blues, as they call them. And this guy was a bit of a mentor to Robert Johnson and a hero to both of them, I'm sure. One of the great bluesmen of the Delta blues. This guy was around before any of those guys. He was born in 1902. And from what I understand, Charlie Patton gave him his shot at recording.
Okay.
Kind of said, "Yeah, you're sweet. You should come to a recording here." And he ended up hooking up with Willie Brown.
Okay.
And that were some of his more famous recordings, which is pretty cool. And like I said before, "Preaching the Blues," one of his huge tracks that got inducted to the Blues Hall of Fame. Crazy.
He's got a lot of deadly tunes. I think first time I heard him actually was probably John the Revelator.
Yeah, that's that acapella tune you're talking about, right? Yeah, well, that's on here.
First time I heard it was actually the one of the covers. I don't remember who it was. I believe Leonard Skinner actually did a cover of it at one point.
Oh, cool!
Deadly tune.
Yeah,
that's another example there. That cover there that you had. That's another example of classic album art. Like it's just.
Yeah. That was what when you said that earlier. That's exactly what that made me think of. Was this one? Yeah. You know, just the portrait with the guitar, and it's in like it's all black border around or whatever colored border, you know.
Yeah.
The portrait never took up like the whole album cover.
Yeah.
It was kind of comparing like today's pictures to like a Polaroid almost.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I love jamming out to that one, man. That's that Sunhouse record is great. Good for early mornings. Having my coffee with my dog.
It would be. Yeah, it would totally be that. I got into a habit of listening to a lot of Jimmy Reed and old blues as well as old jazz early in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about jazz. Jazz can step aside. We're going to talk about the blues.
We are, yeah. I was. It's funny that you mentioned that though, because I actually was listening to, and I know you're a big fan of him too. Tom Waits.
Oh yeah.
Just the other day, and it made me think of that weekend churro that we had. Talking about Waits, man, he's quite the character, and some of his interviews and stuff is just awesome. He's a cool cat.
I like to. I told the wife, I told the missus that he reminds me of like an old dirty alley cat in a lot of his interviews. Where just the way that he kind of comes in, he just kind of walks around. I love him. His music and his lyrics are amazing. But yeah, he's just he's a character. Yeah.
Great lyrics, very unique voice. And just cool dude, man. He's an interesting cat. You should, if anybody who hasn't heard of Tom Waits, definitely check him out. A weird little fun fact about him is that the Joker, Heath Ledger's the Joker, kind of got inspiration from an interview that they saw with Tom Waits. And when you listen to him talking, you get how it just sounds just like the way he was doing it in the movie. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you actually mentioned him.
Yeah.
In that same interview too, the interviewee or interviewer asked him about some of his upcoming records and tours and stuff, and he made a comment. I believe it was in that interview that he said, "Yeah, well, I'm big in Japan," and then I'm pretty sure that's where that song actually comes from. Big in Japan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, big in Japan.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. It's cool. I just noticed on the bottom of this Sunhouse record that I was looking at, there's a quote at the end of it here. It kind of gives like a background, like a bit about him, and then like most of these old records do, you know what I mean? The track list is very small at the bottom, and then this is a whole biography kind of thing. But at the end it says, "The blues ain't nothing but a low down shake and chill. If you never had 'em, children, I hope you never will." Mrs. Sunhouse. Friggin' legend, buddy. So what do you got going on in the near future? You got any gigs towards the end of summer that you're hoping that are still gonna be going?
There's some that I'm hoping for, but I really don't think that they're gonna come to fruition. I was working on a West Coast tour for the fall, where I was supposed to be opening and doing a show for Lenny Gallant in Edmonton at a Soft Cedar venue, but I don't think that's going to be happening. It's started talking with the booker in February, and then March, right after the lockdown kind of happened, he last I heard was that everything's kind of being put on hiatus for the opening acts. So I really don't think I don't even know at what point I can start contacting venues to start booking the rest of my tour, or just I think it's done. I think it's gone. Had some summer shows. Had some summer shows and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they're all gone too.
When was when were you supposed to head out to Alberta? What's the date for that around?
October 2nd was supposed to be the Edmonton gig.
October 2nd, yeah. Cool. Well, you never know, man. Fingers crossed. We'll see, I guess, Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, as they say.
Is what it is.
The voice yelling from the other room, this better be over by October. Yeah, well, like I said, you can just only hope for the best, and hopefully we get a little leniency, and maybe can start playing music again here soon. I don't know. We'll see. In the meantime, we'll slowly go mad and try to keep ourselves busy with this.
Yeah, and right now I've been. I think most people have been doing the same thing. We've just been kind of focusing our time and energy into doing some of the live streams, trying to do some writing,
Yeah,
trying to keep some sanity, things of that nature. I mentioned the DTF uh, quarantine EP kind of thing I was working on, the Down to Funk at the start here.
yeah,
That's how I've been spending my last bit of time, like the last week, 2 weeks kind of thing. It's just in Madhouse and recording, making making some videos with that. I'm hoping to have everything finished next week, and then a couple teasers for stuff to go out and about. I think I sent you a small clip of one last week,
yeah,
like kind of a reggae tune there. Yeah,
yeah. No, that was really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think people are gonna dig that. So, are you planning on releasing the EP on like on Apple Music and Spotify? And is it gonna be a stream thing, or is it you gonna have physical copies, or what are you
I don't
thinking?
think I'm going to do physical copies, just because I don't really want to put any type of like delayed turnaround or as much of a delayed turnaround. It's just something I just
Yeah,
kind of want to just put out for the sake of it being out. Um,
yeah,
so it's I am gonna submit it to like Spotify and iTunes for like playlists and stuff like that for streaming and downloading. Um, but
cool.
so yeah, it'll be digital distribution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down to funk. Well,
down
I
to
look forward
funk.
to hearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I dig it. How many tracks is it? Like five track EP?
I haven't really decided yet, but I'm shooting at 10. I got
Oh,
yeah,
oh shit,
yeah. I've been
cool, man.
the mad scientist is at work in the other room there. Just
Yeah.
days on end, hours and hours. Yeah.
Lots of coffee and lots of quarantine musical adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I've been kind of doing the same thing, just kind of playing and writing. And I got into a little bit of recording there last week. On set up a garage band and was working on a track. But yeah, I'm gonna start getting into more of the recording. I had some recording plans, but they kind of got squashed with the whole um, what's going on right now. So home recording. It's a great time to get into her.
Well, I'm kind of looking at it as more of a way to sort of stay relevant. I mean, it's not gonna you're not gonna get the kind of quality that you would going into a proper studio, but like there was one of the tunes that I played during my live stream on one of the Sunday sessions that one of the ladies asked if I had it recorded, and it was on iTunes, and then that just kind of sort of sparked the idea in my head. And Andre Pettypaw and I were talking about the idea of just kind of pushing out some material just for the sake of it kind of being out, because I mean, for the foreseeable future, at least anyway, shows have kind of gone away, and we have this live streaming, and then we have just recorded streaming, I guess. Is yeah,
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 recorded recorded jams, pre-recorded jams. I
yeah,
don't know. But the cool thing about them is when they're pieced together, the sound is really, really good. And when you're doing
yeah.
it live, you always kind of get that lag or whatever. It's pretty hard. I don't know if I found if there's a true thing that you can actually jam
Mm-hmm.
and it's like right in sync with each other. I feel like there's always going to be a lag, but I could be wrong. I think CB Mike might have had a thing posted there one time that was a virtual jam app.
I heard somebody was doing it, but I didn't really wasn't aware of what they were actually doing. I thought they were using Zoom, but something's telling me that's
Yeah,
not true. Yeah.
yeah, no, I heard of Zoom too. I don't know. I'm sure there's something out there. Geez, the technology today, there's got to be. Surely they can keep us in sync. Did you see there's aliens now?
Yeah, I seen somebody was sharing that, like, of course there's aliens. We had what was an asteroid was coming towards the planet in March, and April we have aliens, UFO sightings, and
next week we'll be on the loose.
Yeah, dinosaurs are coming back. They're
coming back.
Yeah, Bigfoot riding a T-Rex is going to walk into downtown New York.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, cool. The aliens were always there, but now they're at least they're admitting that they're there.
Those ancient alien guys are they're pumped right now. They have 17 seasons of that show, and they're like, yeah, now we have proof.
I love it. Well, what do you think, brother? Should we end this show with one final bang and let you take her away with the final track of the night?
Sure. Well, you're gonna log back in, I guess, Dylan.
Yeah. No, I'll be back in. I'll be back in once you're done playing the song before we close out.
Okay. I was gonna say thanks for having me, but I'll say thanks after the tune.
Yeah, for sure, man. The stage is all yours, brother. The masses are waiting.
This is so we're talking about the three great blues players this evening. We covered Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, and we talked a little bit about Sunhouse. I'm going to try a Sunhouse tune. This is a tune I covered a few times, and I kind of have a little bit of trouble playing it, but I'm gonna give her anyway. This is my own little take on it. It's his original is an a cappella. This is a tune called "Grinning in Your Face." Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Just bear this in mind, a true friend is so hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? 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 Just bear this in mind, a true friend is so hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? For your mother talk about you, your sisters and your brothers too. Yeah, they don't care how you're trying to live, they'll talk about yourself. Just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind the people grinning in your face? Don't you mind the people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? This in mind, true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? You know they'll jump you up and down, they'll carry you round and round. Soon as your back is turned, they'll try to knock you down. Bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? people grinning in your face? Don't you mind the people grinning in your face? Don't you mind the people grinning in your face? Yeah.
Bravo, brother, bravo. Excellent job. I know the people out there watching are appreciating the tunes. They're loving it, man. I want to say thank you for coming on the guitar show this night, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for letting me make some noise and talk about aliens and blues and everything. Everything in between, man. It was really nice actually talking with you again and just being able to talk to, even though you're on the screen, being able to see a human face and interact with them. It's it's
totally,
nice.
Yeah. It's almost like we're just hanging out, jamming out in the hotel room again.
Yes. No cops are called, and there's no noise complaints, but
yeah, we're staying out of trouble this time. For now, anyways, until they let us back out wilding in the streets. Well, man, I look forward to our next chat, and maybe we'll have you on the next season of the guitar show. Come back and rock some more tunes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jon Hines. You can check him out on Spotify. Wild Things Roam. I believe he's got a new track actually called Howling at the Moon. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. I put it out there about a month ago. It was. It came up, and I played at the Cape Breton Guitar Night there the other night.
Yeah.
Through the stream there that Jerry was featuring.
Yeah, that was a really cool show, man. There was a lot of great artists on that. Like all of our CB Mike family, and I'm not even gonna get into naming them. There was a lot of really good East Coast musicians on that show. So kudos, shout out to Jerry Holland for putting that on. Fishes and Loaves Food Kitchen, and
you'll notice.
Shout out.
I was going to say you'll notice my.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you notice my TP shrine is down.
Oh, Charmin.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just.
What happened? You had to use it.
Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Storing toilet paper. It's only storage for so long. There's eventually a time comes where you're gonna need that ass wipe. I thought that was cool how they had the old shrine up there. I saw a few videos with that.
I thought it was pretty funny myself. I was thinking about putting some Corona bottles or something up there as well, but I'll leave it at the TP.
Yeah, it was cheeky enough. I liked it.
Yeah,
it is cool. Right on, brother. Well, all the best to you, man. Thanks for being on the guitar show, and everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Another successful Thursday on Ripple Effects. Cheers, everybody. I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic weekend. Enjoy a little bit of that nice weather out in the yard or whatever.
Peace.
Rock on. All right, John. Cheers, buddy. Take care.
All the best.
Later, guys. You too, buddy.